So here we are. I think well, this is exciting. I think we're live. This is the first time I've ever actually been live on YouTube, which is one, quite exciting, two, a little bit weird because I normally go live on my phone, but I'm using my computer instead. So it feels very, very weird. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. However, I figured that it's probably going to be a really, really good idea that I start to utilize this function. I've been live on Instagram, I've been live on Facebook. Now here we are. So how are we, my friend? Yeah, this is really, really weird. Is it weird for you, Emily? Because I've only ever been live on Facebook. So this is the plan for today. I'm going to run this exactly like I would if I was just doing a Facebook Live. I'm a little bit earlier than I said I was going to be. It's 20 to 8. I said I was going to be coming on about 8 o'clock, but I've had a little play about and I thought I'm probably going to be still waffling at 8 o'clock anyway, so no one's going to miss me. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'm just going to waffle for a little bit. I'm just going to chat for a little bit. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to, is that the right word? My opinion? I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to introduce you to three. Wow. They're all the whole firm. So I'm going to hit you with three mindset shifts, three core beliefs, three things to think about, three things that are possibly missing or have been missing in the past when you have tried to transform, when you've tried to change, when you've tried to move yourself away from whatever pain it is that you're feeling to make things that little bit better. In my experience, this is something that we massively, massively overlook. If we look at weight loss, everybody wants a diet plan, everybody wants a training program. Nobody really wants to know why the fuck they can't. There's the first F-bomb. That's no chance of monetizing this at all because there's going to be loads of them. It's one of those things that people look past. People always look at the diet plan. They look at the training program. They look at X. They look at Y. They look at Z. But what they don't do is they don't strip things right back and look at things and take things at the source and figure out why that they feel the way that they do, why they can't stick to a plan. And I believe there are three core fundamental beliefs that need to be addressed before you embark on any transformation program. The first belief, the first thing that we really do need to get a handle on is we need to remove emotion from the situation. We need to stop playing the victim and we need to fully embrace, fully accept that something needs to change. Something must change. The path that you are going on right now is a path to self-destruction. It's a path to misery. It's a path to more of the same. So if you don't have a deep-rooted, hard-wired belief that things must change, they are never going to change because all you are going to do, you are going to stay stuck so fucking firmly rammed into the victim mentality. Part of the victim mentality is justifying your situation and then comparing your situation to other people. The longer that you do that, the longer that you stay stuck. So the first belief that we need to look at changing is things must change. Not things are going to change, not things should change, not things will change next week. Things must change. You must go down an ever so slightly different path. And that's, in all honesty, that's the reality for a lot of people. A lot of people just need a slight deviation. We get scared. We catastrophize, Mary. We catastrophize about things that we possibly should be doing and not doing them, and we overcomplicate things. And the reality is sometimes it's just a little tweak and we just go down a slightly different path and it's going to lead us to a completely different destination. To go along with that belief, to go along with the belief that things must change, something else that we fucking really do need to get a handle on is we need to have faith. We need to believe. We need to know in our hearts. We need to know deep down in our soul that we are the one that is going to change it. We are responsible for everything that we do. Absolutely, categorically, nobody is coming to save you. Yes, you can invest heavily in someone like me who coaches people to feel fucking fantastic. You can buy books, you can go to webinars, you can download online courses, but at the end of the day, the book stops with you. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's fucking coming to save you. You can have all the information in the world, but if you don't implement that information, if you don't do what you said that you would do, nothing changes. If you say that you're going to do X, but instead of doing X, you read Y and do something else, so nothing is going to change. So you need to believe things must change. To go along with the fact that things must change, you need to know that you are the one responsible. You are the person who's going to change. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming. RJ, greetings from Yorkshire. Greetings from just outside Liverpool. RJ, hope you're well. Listen, whilst I am waffling on, whilst I am chatting along, if there's any questions, if there's anything that you think I can help you with, if there's anything on your mind, type it in the box, and if I can help you, I will fucking gladly help you. I will do it willingly, as they say. So we've got two of our core beliefs. We've got the first two beliefs. The first belief: things must change. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You're probably listening to people like me. Maybe we've worked together in the past. You are here listening to this now because something isn't going the way that you want it to go. You don't look the way that you want to go. You don't feel the way that you want to feel. You don't think the way that you want to think. Something categorically must change. To go along with the things that must change, you must believe that you are responsible. You are the one who's going to save yourself. You are your own white knight in shining armor, which is going to ride you off into the sunset of fucking greatness. So to go along with the first two core beliefs, and this is a difficult one. This is a really, really hard one for people to get their head around, because it all boils down to your perception. It boils down to your past influence and your past experience. But you need to know that you can change. You need to know that despite what has happened in the past, despite what is going on right now, you can change. Like I say, this is really, really difficult, because for the majority of people, certainly the people that end up at my door, certainly the people that I work with, they have tried multiple times to change their state. They have tried multiple times to change the way that they feel, to change their situation. Generally, people play very, very small. Generally, people live up to their own expectations and they don't get to where they want to go. The more you try and the more you fail, the more you are, the message that you are receiving from yourself is that you are not worthy. The message that you are receiving from your past influence and experience is you can't do it. However, when we do feel frustrated like this, it's a really, really good thing. It's a really, really powerful emotion to capitalize on, to harness. It's a good emotion to harness, because when we feel frustrated, it basically means that we know that we're not doing what we're supposed to be fucking doing. Hang on. Ooh, I'm a 37-year-old guy who has always dealt with this imposter syndrome. And it has meant that I haven't achieved as much in my career and success with women. Especially, I feel my subconscious is stopping me. Your subconscious is stopping you, of course it is, because you are the label that you have given yourself, the information which you are feeding to your ego or your subconscious is that you suffer from imposter syndrome. That you are not really good enough. The more you tell yourself that you are not good enough, the more you relay this information to yourself. How do you think that you're going to act? How do you think that you're going to feel? How do you think that you're going to experience life? You're going to experience life as someone who has told themselves, who has labeled themselves with imposter syndrome. You're going to have the same thoughts. You're going to behave in the same way. You're going to get the same results. It's only when we implement a little bit of metacognition, when we start to become aware of our own thoughts, it's only then that we can start to realize, we can start to get a handle on, we can start to identify the story that we're telling ourselves, so then we can look at changing it. Hopefully that helps. I wonder if I can share this to Facebook. Probably can. I struggle with consistency. I'm either 100% wavering off or drop the ball totally. What would you advise to keep consistency? Just let me see if I can share this to Facebook. Copy link. I'm used to doing this whole YouTube live thing, you see. What's on your mind, Danny? It's fucking super slow, isn't it? It's posting. It's posting. Right, I'm back. Apologies. I struggle with consistency. You struggle with consistency because you tell yourself you struggle with consistency. So you are behaving in 100% wavering off or drop the ball totally. What would you advise to keep consistency? So if you are unable to be consistent, this is basically screaming that you need to follow a different path. If you're on the right path, consistency is fucking really, really easy. It's that simple. Whenever you are being massively inconsistent, it's because you are trying to do something which is going against your own personal values. You are making it really, really, really difficult for yourself. So if you're not consistent, if you're struggling to stick to the plan, it's because it's the wrong plan. And this is fucking great. This is fantastic. This is where frustration comes in. I'm sure that you're frustrated at yourself because you lack consistency. But when we remove emotion from that, when we just look at this completely rationally, you're only frustrated because you're not sticking to the plan. You're not sticking to the plan because it's not the right plan for you. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Vital Elements. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope it's off to a strong start. Lots of emojis. Sonny Smith. Hey yourself. Emma, does that make sense? RJ, does that make sense? We need to be really, really, really careful of the label that we give ourselves, because we will always behave in line with our own expectations. If you keep telling everybody that you've got no motivation, guess fucking what? If you keep telling everybody that you are an emotional eater, guess what you're going to do? If you keep telling everybody that you're a lazy bastard and you should go to the gym, but you don't because you can't be asked, guess what you are going to do? Just as you label yourself one thing, it's just as easy to label yourself something else. The problem is we get stuck in this same cycle of thinking and feeling, I'm inconsistent as well, a bit like Darwin Núñez's goal-scoring record for Liverpool. That is a football joke which has just gone completely over my head because I don't follow it. Yes, that makes total sense. Thank you. I always think I need to eat like a rabbit to lose weight, and I'm an emotional eater. So we've had this discussion a fucking million times, Emily. I just gotta stop swearing. You don't need to eat like a rabbit. You are a vegetarian, so technically you probably do eat like a rabbit. And you're only an emotional eater because you say that you're an emotional eater. You're only an emotional eater because I've got to be very careful with what I say here. Generally, when people say that they're an emotional eater, they use it to validate their behavior the way that they've behaved. I'm an emotional eater. I'm an emotional eater. Oh, I'm an emotional eater, so it's okay to do this. It's the same with addiction. In all of my many, many years of doing this, I've never met anybody who's actually addicted to sugar. I've met a fucking ton of people who are addicted to the story that they are addicted to sugar. And because they are addicted to sugar, oh, I'm addicted to sugar, I need to eat this fucking donut. The problem is, these people who are addicted to sugar, they tend to overeat on highly palatable foods. They don't overeat on basmati rice. They don't overeat on fucking oats. They overeat on cookies. They overeat on donuts. Cookies and donuts have a really, really, really high fat content. So are they addicted to sugar, or are they just addicted to the story that they tell themselves? And do they just like fucking donuts? Because donuts taste good. My dog's trying to get in. Does that make sense, Emily? RJ, I'm inconsistent as well, a bit like Darwin Núñez. You're not inconsistent, brother. No, not anymore. Not anymore. The old RJ was. This new guy, this new RJ, he's consistent. He's consistent because he's removed emotion from all of this. He's looking at things rationally, and he's following a new path. Yes, I think it's a way of protecting myself, as I believe I will be judged and abandoned for any characteristic where I can be judged as inferior. You're judging yourself, brother. My dog's knocking on the door. Give me a sec. Come on, in. Okay. Apologies. Yeah, man, you're judging yourself. That's all you're doing, is you are, in the nicest possible way. No one gives a fuck. They don't. No one's judging you. No one's talking about you. No one's discussing you. No one is abandoning you for any characteristic where you could be judged as inferior. This is all created in your own mind. This is your opinion of yourself projecting forward and then coming back as a false. I can't even think of the right fucking word. Hopefully that helps, though. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough. See, the majority of people don't realize that you can change your thoughts in an instant. You can change the way that you think, therefore the way that you feel, really, really quickly. The problem is, see, what happens is we have thought in the brain. Something happens, something triggers. I'm inferior. I'm not good enough. I have imposter syndrome. So we have a thought. Then the frontal lobe sends a signal, and then the frontal lobe sends a signal to the amygdala. The amygdala sends a hormonal surge down the spinal column to the hormonal receptors. That creates a feeling in the body at wherever the relevant receptor is, which then relays that feeling back up to the brain, telling the brain, "Oh my God, we feel like this, we feel like that." That starts a cascade of more thoughts and more feelings. And then we get this thought, feeling, this body-brain loop, which goes round and round and round and round and round, getting worse and worse and worse. You're getting more uptight. Your stomach feels sick. You're sweaty. And then the body starts to become the brain. The body starts to tell the brain how we should be feeling, because we get addicted to these hormones. We get addicted to these chemical signals. Once you understand that, or once you can, not so much understand it, but once you accept it as real, and that you can indeed change your thoughts, because your thoughts, the voice in your head isn't you. The voice in your head is your ego. The voice in your head is not RJ. It's not Emily. It's not Mary. It's not Sonny. It's not us. It isn't. It's our ego. It's just our thoughts, and we can ask our brain for another thought at any time. Problem is, we don't fucking want to, because we like the chaos. We like feeling the way that we do. We kind of a weird, not so much addiction. Pickle, what up? That snowball effect of change in your thoughts is the hard part to get started, but the longer and more you do it, the bigger and better the snowball will start rolling. Of course, it takes exactly the same amount of energy to feel like this as it does like this. So why not feel like this? Why not have these thoughts instead of these thoughts? Which is it's a really, really oversimplified, super fucking simplistic way of looking at it. But I can tell you for a fucking fact that it works. You are responsible for your own happiness. Nobody else is. So start thinking different thoughts. Yes, and people will, well, not much you guys, because you all seem very, very cool, but people, you know, in the past, when I've spoken about this, oh, it's not that simple, you don't know me, you don't know this, and you don't know that, and it's, well, I've been around. I'm a 45-year-old man who fucking been in pits of fucking despair, and now I'm not, and I got myself out of it, right? Does anybody have any other questions? Yeah, my dog's snoring. So cute yet so unpredictable. Does anybody else have any other questions? Why have I only just started doing YouTube Live? YouTube Live's well better than Facebook Live. You don't know my pain. Okay. So what's the main difference between the thought pattern and not having the correct goals? I don't know if it's the thought pattern or the goals. It's what's in between. It's having the right process. We can all have goals. The problem with a lot of people's goals is they don't know how to fucking get there, because they rely on the way that they rely on the belief that they can't do something. They believe they can't do something due to past influence and experience. I think I've got that. I think I've got your question right. So what's the main difference between thought pattern and not having the correct goals? Reword that, please, Kara. When did you sneak in anyway? You weren't here just now. Messages all over the show here. Does that help? My YouTube took forever to load. Well, it's obviously it's my fault as well, because I said I was going to go live at 8, but about 20 minutes ago I realized I didn't know what the fuck I was doing going live. So I started to tinker with it and mess with it to see what I had to do, and then thought, fuck it, I'm here, I might as well go live. A bit, one sec, trying to reword effectively. Cool. I don't even know if there's like a mad delay. The key for me, Mary, the key for me, at least to start, is at least noticing the negative thoughts. Metacognition. Where have you gone? Negative thoughts. Inserting the pattern interrupt. I'm no longer willing. Works great for me. I've got to get better at replacing them. Fucking decide what you are no longer willing to tolerate. Not just from yourself, from other people. Once you get that, once you get clear on that, the fucking world looks very, very different. Did you mention the third core belief? I only have 2 written down. Yes, you must believe that it's possible. You must believe that you can do what you set out to do. If you don't believe that you can do it, you're not gonna put the work in, right? Excuse me. Wow, how rude. So when you were talking about people falling off the wagon or being 100% on track with no in between, having a bad process versus just giving yourself BS excuses, you will only ever fail at what you do if you are going down the wrong path. This is to do with RJ and Emily were talking about consistency and frustration. You only ever really get frustrated. Let's look at weight loss. Most people can relate to weight loss. If you get on the scales and the scales aren't going the way that you want to go and you feel frustrated, the truth is that you're not frustrated with the scales, you're frustrated with the fact that you're not sticking to the plan. You're not sticking to the plan because it's not the right plan for you. How have you been sleeping lately, Danny? Last I watched, you were talking about diet and sleep. What have you done lately with your diet that you may have noticed has made a positive difference? Nothing. My I sound incredibly boring. My life is very, very Groundhog Day. So whatever we were speaking about last time is I'm still doing that now. No, don't exercise. I exercise in the morning. I get up at the same time every single day. I get daylight as soon as I can. I don't have coffee for the first 90 minutes to 2 hours. I stop drinking fluids at 6. Everything's exactly the same. Does that mean that my sleep is perfect? No, it doesn't, because I'm fucking human, you know. But I sleep okay. Something that is interesting though, Pickle, in that vein, if you like, over Christmas, I relaxed a bit. I spent more time with family. I didn't train as much. I drank a little bit more alcohol. Like not a lot at all, but I drank a bit more alcohol. I ate some sweets, I ate some cakes, I ate some more processed foods. And what's really, really interesting is my resting heart rate went from the low 40s to the high 50s. My HRV went from 100 plus down into like the 30s and the 40s, simply because I was out of routine. I was going to bed a little bit later. I was drinking more booze, eating more processed food, not training much. The effect it had on my health markers was really fucking interesting. What are your thoughts on David Goggins and his 100% accountability? I mean, the guy ran 100. I don't understand I don't know what. I'm familiar with David Goggins, but I don't know what his 100% accountability is. I don't know why, but now I'm glitching and can't hear a word. Do you ever get midnight insomnia about 3 a.m.? So that's not midnight, is it? That's 3 a.m. No, I don't, because I have the correct ritual, routine, and structure to my day, which means that this doesn't happen to me anymore. It used to a long time ago, but it doesn't now. So whenever you wake up, you know, if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't get back to sleep. It's generally due to overthinking. It's generally due to having stuff on your mind, which if you flip that back before you go to bed, if you write down a to-do list, if you have a little brain dump, if you write down your wins, if you get everything you can out of your brain onto paper, if you do wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's not going to happen. That's a very generic answer, because I don't know anything about your life setup. I don't know what you do for a job. I don't know what your life is. I don't know anything, but this is all covered in my Sleep Advantage program. Have I covered everything? Is it on Facebook? This do you find that tracking things like miles walked per day, steps taken, etc., is helpful, or is it too redundant? I don't know what your goals are. I don't know anything about what you want to do. I track my steps. My clients track their steps. I said that some do, some don't. Some have got more performance goals than physical goals. Some have got mental goals than physical goals. But I think holding yourself to a level every single day, I don't think it's going to do you any harm. But like I say, I don't know if the goal is to feel healthy. Yeah, I think there's a minimum standard which you should hold yourself to every day. And if that is doing 10,000 steps a day, if that is some form of time restricted eating, you know. Oh yes, the lack of coffee fascinates me. You're a warrior for that alone. No, I still have coffee, but I just don't have. I don't drink coffee after about 9 a.m. Should everyone be aiming to get their HRV in the hundreds, or is that unattainable unless you're training like a beast? No, of course it's attainable. Of course it's attainable. However, everybody's different, right? When I was training for the marathon, my HRV was in the 180s. It's generally around 100 now. But I'm not you, and you are not me. So whatever your baseline is, let's look at improving it. Let's look at getting it that little bit higher. It's a bit mad on here because I want to say you're welcome, but you're welcome incarnated love sounds a bit mad. I want to say pickle, that sounds a bit mad as well. So everyone's got mad names, haven't they? Just let me check if this is what's real on here. I think I'm definitely going to do. Definitely going to do more of these because I'm really enjoying it. If I have coffee every day, my natural level of energy tanks on a day when I don't have it. But it's one of those pleasures I can't give up totally. Yeah, you don't have to give up coffee. I think most people drink too much coffee, but I like coffee. I've got a Nespresso machine in the kitchen. I like a coffee. I guess it depends how many coffees you have a day. I guess it depends if you are like the majority of people abusing caffeine to make up for the fact that their sleep cycles are fucking dog shit. Yeah, Emily, I think I'm getting more, in a really selfish way, I'm getting more out of this than I am doing a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live. The only problem is I don't know if it stays on my channel or does it fucking disappear? I don't know. So if nobody's got is that the Queen's English? If there are no more questions, there you fucking go. If there are no more questions, I will let you go. I've really enjoyed this. Not sure when I'll be doing it again, but I'll definitely be doing it again. Are you a fan of keto, paleo? No. Why would you want to give up fucking carbohydrates? Absolutely not. Paleo is a fucking weird one. Keto, I don't, except in very rare situations, I don't think anyone should go keto. In fact, no, who the fuck am I to tell you what to do? If you want to go keto, go keto. It's just not something that I would ever fucking do. I enjoy carbohydrates too much. Obviously, with my training, with my running, with my lifting, carbohydrates, I fucking need them. Is it recommended for women to slowly increase weights if the goal is strengthen but not get bulky? Very, very person dependent. Paleo, the thing with paleo is they do paleo ketchup and they do paleo chocolate, and it's like, fuck off. If you're gonna eat like a caveman, eat like a fucking caveman. Caveman didn't have ketchup and they didn't have fucking chocolate. Is it recommended for women to slowly increase weight if the goal is to strengthen but not get bulky? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You'll never get bulky because you don't have the hormonal profile to get bulky. You could possibly fall into the trap of eating too much food because you're lifting fucking big heavy weights, and then you put on too much body fat. But when it comes to building muscle, it's very, very difficult. Any luck on getting together a group for men and women? It's something that I've tried a few times to do, but I always get let down. People say they're going to do it and then fucking vanish. So it's probably, I don't know. Maybe it's something that we'll look at doing, and then when I do set up a group, the investment for the group, it's not going to be a fucking cheap group because I don't do cheap shit. Pickle's been my nickname for over 25 years. My ex-husband gives. I thought I said my ex-husband gives me one. I said, fucking hell. Calm down. My ex-husband gives everyone nicknames. My name is Michelle. So it went from Mickey to Mickle to Pickle. Fucking hell. Herman the Tosser. What up? Help someone with nerve damage in the arm, both sides, in the middle upper section. No idea what. I've no idea. I've no idea what you're asking, and I've no idea what to suggest. RJ, for fat loss and lowering insulin resistance, I prefer paleo as there is more carbs than keto. When it comes to fat loss, when it comes to fat loss, if you reduce your body fat, you will lower your insulin resistance, or you will lower your insulin resistance. Am I getting the fucking right words up there? When it comes to fat loss and general health, it was Ralph Waldo Emerson that said, teach a man the principle and let him find his own method. The principle of weight loss is energy balance. It's calories in versus calories out. If you want to do keto, that's fine, as long as it means that you don't consume as much energy. If you want to do paleo, as long as it means that you don't consume enough energy. It's not magic. Does that make sense? Hit me, baby. Tell me the best way to keto. No, I fucking can't do that to anybody. I wouldn't do that to anyone. Keto, anything that you can't eat birthday cake is fucking, I'm not interested in. Does that answer everybody's questions? Hopefully it does. All right, listen. What about? What's your go-to for stress relief? I generally don't get stressed anymore because I'm well hydrated, I'm well fed, I'm well exercised, I spend time in nature, I get a lot of daylight, and I breathe a lot through my nose. And I take cold showers. So stress isn't really something which affects me. What exercise do you recommend to strengthen the core for someone who has tailbone and lower disc injuries? Personally, I would suggest that you go and speak to a strength and conditioning coach or a personal trainer, physical therapist, something like that. It would be a strength and conditioning coach or a personal trainer, physical therapist, something like that. It would be irresponsible of me to give you some fucking random exercises when I've literally was speaking over a fucking YouTube video. So speak to someone who can physically assess you, if that makes sense. Lucky Charms. I like Lucky Charms. I think anything in moderation is absolutely fine. I've not had Lucky Charms for about 2 fucking years, but the odd bowl of Lucky Charms isn't gonna fucking kill you. If you have a fucking washing up bowl full of Lucky Charms for your breakfast every morning, then it's fucking different. The odd bowl of Lucky Charms isn't gonna fucking. Herman Thosser, we got a big problem with the cocaine up and down this country. We need some guidance and help. Unfortunately, it would be irresponsible for me to advise you on any kind of drug addiction over a YouTube video. I know nothing about you, my friend, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Right, listen, this has been emotional, and I've really enjoyed it. Good evening.